Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I have a very special guest with me, and it's my friend Alek. We are working on a project, and we have known each other for two couple of weeks.
Yeah, I want to. It's a little over a month now, maybe.
Yeah, and I thought maybe it would be nice to invite him to a video, and we could talk about something that would be useful for you guys. So first thing first, could you please tell us something about yourself, Alek?
Yeah, I am in the clinical mental health counseling program here, which means that I am working towards being a therapist. So, talking individually with people to help them filter through and process their emotions and thoughts so they feel better. And that's a big passion of mine. I also am really interested in men's issues. I like to consider myself an artist, love movies, love stories, love people. Um,
Okay, so your subject is about making people feel better, right?
yeah,
Okay. So I mean, that's not the way it is, but that's my way of putting it.
sure, yeah.
So why should someone study your subject? What are the prospects of it?
Yes. Well, I'd first say because the prospects vary depending on your specialty, but I would first say if you enjoy people, if you enjoy connecting with them, you enjoy talking with them, and you enjoy helping them, then it might be a good field to go into. A lot of being a therapist, being a counselor, is sitting in a room one on one, kind of like this,
Okay.
talking and listening a lot in order to help the other person. If that sounds appealing, definitely worthwhile. As far as the prospects go, at least here in America, mental health has been it's been declining, especially since COVID. And anytime mental health is getting worse, the job of therapists, it our demand goes up. Like so, as long if things are getting worse, our demand goes up.
Okay.
So right now, it's the prospects are very high.
Okay. My next question too is that many of my audience or the students who watch my videos are planning to move to the US. So could you please briefly tell us about the US education system? Like if someone's from a different country come to the US to study, what are say some of the possible challenges they could face?
Sure, absolutely. A big one might be the necessity to work. I do not know where they might be coming from or their situation, but to be able to financially support you yourself is very important here in America. Usually, unless you get student loans that completely lift you up out of your financial obligations, being able to pay your way can be important. Being able to get to the grocery store because you can pay for an Uber, which is like a taxi, or to have a friend take you or buy a bike or scooter, um, where everything is more spread out except
Okay.
on campus. So it can be difficult to get places that you need to go. So we do have a health clinic, we do have small little restaurants, we have coffee shops, but we don't have a grocery store here. We're lucky that we have a gym here, but we don't have a hospital right on campus. There are a number of we're a spread out nation for the most
Okay.
part, especially like at Wichita State. You're less likely to get everything you need on campus. You can get some of it, maybe most of it, but not all of it. So you need to be able to afford transportation. So transportation, cost of living.
In terms of writing or communication skill, like
Yes.
how the system are like.
Well, it's communication is going to be very important, period. You're going to want to be well versed with using your email and knowing what proper etiquette is with talking with your instructors, forming a relationship with your peers, being able to just construct a decent email, or when you have to write a paper, being able to write in a way that's understandable. There should be some accommodation here, but it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to cover everything. Um, Communication skills are another big one.
Uh, Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, my next question is whenever someone's like, I have been here, it's been for me, I think 6 months.
Mhm.
So whenever someone moves into a new country, oftentimes they experience cultural shocks.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are new people. Everything is different. Everything is new. So as far as I know, you have been to Europe for visiting,
Yes.
right? So what are some of the ways one can, mitigate the initial shocks when they move into a new country? In your
Yeah.
opinion.
One of my other friends, she's from Pakistan,
Mhm.
which I know is not directly comparable, but I'm sure her experience coming over here might be somewhat comparable. and she watched the movies. She watched a lot of American Hollywood movies. She started looking to our shows, just our art. And I think art is an amazing way to just get an idea of how things work in the country you're going to. It's a reflection of the people. You could watch reality TV shows. You could see what products are really popular, I suppose. Just watching YouTube videos of American people doing American things. Um, even streamers and influencers who are probably not the best people to like try and emulate, they might give you an idea of what the culture is like. That might take the edge off a bit. And then also just make friends as soon as you get here. Make some native friends would that'd probably help quite a bit.
Make life easier.
Yes.
Okay. In your opinion, which state is the best state in the US for studying?
Now, I have not traveled to all 50 states.
Okay.
I tend to, from my experience as an American, I tend to see some of the coasts as some of the better options. I had a great experience in Texas.
Okay.
California, I think, has the most colleges out of any of the states. And then the East Coast is known for having plenty of institutions, some of our oldest colleges that are there. And so a lot of people would consider the East Coast as like the highest tier of education, just because they've been around for so long. So if you're looking for great education, I'd probably look at the coasts, but cost is a consideration, perhaps the South as well. But really, every state has figured out how to succeed in its own way, which means their education and infrastructure are functional. So you should be able to get by with moving anywhere. I would look for some place that you can live comfortably, and meet people like you. Like comfort is a big one.
So my next question is regarding, the expense. In the US, the expense varies straight.
Yep.
So whenever someone moves to the US or moves to a different country, definitely expense is one of the main issues they, consider. So in your opinion, which state is comparatively more affordable for students or in general?
There's a weird relationship, an unfortunate relationship between population, which can also mean quality of life or access to various people's properties, businesses. Like if you go to like Denver, Colorado, you're going to have more possible experiences there than here in Wichita, Kansas. However, here in Wichita, it is more affordable. So it's like experience versus affordability. If you want a place that's going to perhaps have more diversity and more people and more opportunity, you will be paying more. What usually happens is you have to be more creative and work harder, but you get rewarded for it perhaps. And if you want a more peaceful life, look at something more rural or more small city like Wichita. Even in Colorado, if you go to some of the smaller cities, but
it's less expensive.
Yes. So really use places like bestplaces.org.net.com. I can't think of what it's called. Check the overall cost of living for the city, not just the state, the city specifically, and just do some research and see about the potential job opportunities there.
In my opinion, Wichita is a very beautiful city. I absolutely love it. Even though it's not a mega city, but I love it. But would you recommend anyone to come to Wichita or to Kansas?
Yeah, I grew up here, so I'm probably tired of it. And so I do have a bias. I would recommend it because it's a peaceful place. It's a great place to raise a family or just to enjoy a more relaxed existence. It moves slower. It's definitely not a fast-paced city. It's not very stressful being here at all. And if any of that appeals to you, it's great. It's flat. We have exciting weather patterns. It's not boring in the weather whatsoever. And it is growing. It is growing. So in the ways that people might want more, like in art, I'm into art. That scene is growing more. We're still improving, even if we're not one of the giant thriving cities.
What's the main difference? Like if I ask you to tell me two main difference between Wichita and Newark, one of them.
Yeah. Let's see. The buildings are a lot shorter here.
I don't think there are any building here in the Wichita.
None at all. Yeah, I don't know if we have any skyscrapers. And then let's see. Cost it's incredibly different. It's affordable here. I think in order to live in New York, $40,000 can be comfortable here. I imagine you couldn't get by with less than $100,000 at the same level of comfort in New York. And then probably the amount of things to do. Like there may not be a whole lot of clubs or music shows going on all the time. We don't have the biggest sports team here, but we have smaller versions of everything.
My next question is regarding reading skill.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, English is not the main language in my country.
Yeah.
We speak Bengali. So many of these students particularly have difficulty with reading and understanding English.
Yeah.
So in terms of improving reading skills, what your suggestions would be?
With reading, I have heard that in order to learn another language the fastest, you want to submerge yourself in the culture. With reading, you're not reading with your friends every day, like you're talking. So I wonder if it might be in finding ways to read more often. So reading fictional books, yeah, it's putting on subtitles while you're watching your favorite movies and shows. Really just giving yourself as many opportunities as possible to have it in front of you. Duolingo is really popular here. I don't know if it's a worldwide popular app.
It's people know it, but they don't use it much in my country.
Okay, yeah, Duolingo is one that I'd recommend. Just really trying to get as much contact as possible. And then there's also text to voice apps. I don't know any of the specific ones that would be good for Bengali. Anything that can just, because even if I have perfect English and I can read just fine, it does help to do text to voice, because I think reading is kind of difficult on everyone.
Yeah.
Like looking at symbols on a page and translating them.
Yeah.
I don't know, be nice to yourself.
Okay. My next question is regarding communication skills. As far as I know, you have been working with different projects and you go to presentations and
Yep.
everything. So how important communication skill is in today's world?
Very important. I would argue that human connection is one of the most important parts of most industries. So being able to hear another person and being able to say back to them what they said to you is a hugely powerful skill, because you can make the person in front of you feel absolutely seen, understood, and heard, and you've just formed a relationship right there. And then on the other side of things, it would be good if you can talk to anyone and make your thoughts clear. So anytime you run into a situation where you're trying to explain yourself and the other person can't understand you, you have given yourself a crutch or a handicap.
Okay.
And if you can find ways to make your brain understood by the person in front of you, that's a victory. And it's powerful.
So how could someone work on it?
There's a number of ways. Exposing yourself to people with really good communication skills via YouTube or just meeting people like on campus. When it comes to instructors that are very clear, you can ask their opinion. We do have a number of people like on YouTube, which I like. I can't think of a single name right now, that speak very clearly and offer classes. Those are recommended. Finding ways of just getting your point across. It might be unique to you, but it's ideas, metaphors, the right words, saying things multiple times. And being persistent, because I can say things that you won't understand on the first go around. If I keep trying, I'm sure I can get it across.
Okay. Like when I was an undergrad student in my country, when I was starting my university, one of the things I struggled with personally is regarding public speaking.
Yeah.
When I was made to speak in front of the, class, or when someone would invite me to speak in front of a group of people, it was a daunting task for me.
Yeah.
And I know for a reason that many of the people who would be watching this video struggle with public speaking as well. So do you have any tips or anything to say to, work on this important skill?
Definitely. I gave a presentation at our annual Kansas Counselors Association conference this last Friday, and I was terrified. It was so bad. Like I could feel my heart in like my neck, and my pulse was 120. It was crazy. What I didn't do, because I was too nervous and forgot, what you should do if you're nervous, you can tell the audience, sorry, got a bit of nerves. If you'll give me a second, I'll get myself pulled together. Making jokes is great. Really paying attention to your audience and seeing them rather than focusing on your own feelings. Like, don't worry about your heart. Look to see if they are listening to you and if they're nodding and understanding. If they're not, work to get your point across. But really, take the edge off, laugh, breathe, don't worry about it. Tell them you're nervous. Trust that you're going to get through it. And nerves are okay, by the way.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up the video.
Okay.
Before I do so, tell us some American things, something that you know international people should know. I'm sure many of the people who watch this video would not only be from my country, Bangladesh.
Hmm.
Um, it could be that people from other countries as well be watching this video. So
Sure.
name some things that I mean, if there are anything you'd like to say about USA in general.
Let's see. There's a lot of opportunity here.
Okay.
It's Americans like to take it for granted, and we like to complain a lot. But it seems like you can be pretty much anyone that you want to be, and you actually get the opportunity, I think, to find out who you are a lot here because the opportunity to be whoever you want to be allows you to figure it out, which is very cool. The food is dynamic and fun and probably different from what you've experienced. Highly recommend you just try a bunch of different things. Our our art is top tier, I like to think, just because we pull it from everybody. We're inspired from around the world. Um, the opportunity to meet so many different people is great here. While it's unfortunate here in Kansas, I know so many white Catholic like let's say rural males. I lived in Houston for quite a while, and the amount of different people that I was able to meet was fantastic. Opportunity for meeting a lot of people with a lot of new ideas. It's great. I that might be a good way to wrap it up, though. I don't know if I've got any others.
No, no, it's fun. I mean, I didn't plan the video. Most of the questions I have asked him are, not so structured. We are just talking, and I thought, okay, it would be nice to, um, make a video about it. I've got one more question. I think
Yeah.
it would be useful for my audience.
Sure.
Many of the people who will be watching this video are planning to move abroad for the bachelor program.
Hmm.
Okay, so in terms of choosing their major, which one, in your opinion, would be the best option for them as of now?
I do think it differs from person to
Exactly.
person. It's really, we have a number of career assessments, for instance. Like here at WSU, we have the Shocker Career Accelerator, which has a number of free assessments. There's one I actually recommend, the ONET Interest Profiler. All you gotta do is search on the internet for ONET, completely free, and you can just go through and see what careers might be good for you. And really, as long as the job at the end of graduation can make you a livable wage and you'd enjoy it, that's a victory, in my opinion, because you want to be able to enjoy your life and make enough money. I like mental health. Mental health is needs are growing. I don't know that engineering will ever be out of style. Perhaps, yeah, technology right now is going to be booming till the end of time. Let's see, any of the trades. This might not be really considered from people that are moving from abroad, but any of the trades, electrician, when it comes to air conditioning, when it comes to plumbing, anything that allows just general society to work is very valuable, especially here. Just like skills rather than just knowledge. Those are the ones that come to mind, but definitely I would recommend they check out their own interests using like one of the assessments.
Since you mentioned skill, in your opinion, which is more important, skills or certificates?
Ooh, that's tough. Certificates are a good way of getting through the door. Because if you look at my resume and see that I've got all of this, you might take the time to talk to me. But if I don't have my certificates, let's see, it needs to show up. That's the big thing. So maybe I don't have a degree, but if I can prove to you, Mahir, that I am capable of writing a good paper or fixing a table, if you can see that, I think it works just as well. It needs to be visible.
Okay.
If you can give visible things to the person you're trying to impress, that's good. Certificates are good. Getting a diploma, getting a degree, great if you can, but just make sure you show up with your skills in the world.
Okay. In terms of resume you mentioned, so how can one improve as an undergrad level student?
Yep.
How can one improve their resume?
I think a big one, because you're going to be working no matter what. You are probably going to be in school. If you're watching this video. I assume you're going to be in school. So those are already going to be on your resume. Everyone's got work in school. Extracurriculars can be fantastic. Volunteering can be good if that's right for you. Joining student organizations can be great. Joining any type of fraternity, sorority, or other organization where you get to work with people like-minded or not is an opportunity to put it on your resume. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the president of anything, but just showing that you want to be involved shows people that you have energy and a willingness to do something.
and work as a team.
Yes.
I believe teamwork is very important, especially when you move abroad to study.
Oh, yes. Oh, because you're alone if you don't.
Yeah.
One way that in America people do bond pretty consistently, it's working towards a common goal.
Mhm.
If you don't know how to meet people, find a goal other people are working towards and help them work towards it. It goes on the resume and it's going to help you make friends.
Okay. I think it would be interesting if you can speak a Bengali sentence. Like
Yeah.
it's like take care. So in Bangla we say bhalo থাকবেন. Can you say
Hello Tangben?
bhalo থাকবেন? Bhalo.
Palo?
Bhalo.
Palo?
Yes, bhalo.
Palo?
Yeah.
Palo?
No. It's V.
Valo?
Yeah.
Valo Tangben?
থাকবেন.
Tangben?
It's T A K T A K B E N.
Valo Takeben?
থাকবেন. We said থাকবেন, but it's fine.
Takeben?
Yeah.
Wait. Valo Takeben?
ভালো থাকবেন. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, thanks for watching and thanks to Alek for joining me today. I believe my audience, the people who watch my video, will find it useful. And thanks for watching as well. Before we finish, do you have anything to say to my audience?
No, I'm just happy to be here. I hope all of your experiences treat you very well. And if you come over here, that you find a place that will make you feel at home and allow you to grow and be who you want to be. I appreciate the opportunity.
No, it's my pleasure. Okay, anything in Bangla?
No, yeah, I'll do my best. Velo Takeben.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys.
Velo Takeben.